Hey wheels, we're finally reaching the third and final part of the ESP01 library tutorial, so of the STM32F1 UART examples. So far we have been seeing in the part 1 and part 2 all the command that we are going to need, and also in the part 2 we focused on the making the STM library to set up the ESP01 and to connect to the network. So within this part, the third one, we are going to use these last two commands to connect with the browser, and also to exchange informations in the aim to control the LEDs connected to the STM32F1 and have a data streaming, a small example of it. So this is our circuit right now, and we do have the LEDs. So we have the red LED and the blue LED that we are going to toggle, and we have a push button, and this will be reading the status of this push button in a continuous way. Okay, so that's our circuit, and let's jump now to the CAL and see what we are going to do. So the first step will be we are going to set up the GPIOs using GP drive libraries. After that, we will check within the communication parameters which one are dynamic and we need to focus on, and after identifying them, we will go to the building the library for controlling the LEDs and toggling them. And after that, so we will add the data streaming, because if we manage to understand the concept in the step 2, we will be easily implementing the data streaming. Finally, we will wrap up the project. Good. So let's go first step and initiate the initiate quickly the GPIOs. So the first one will be the init. So we are going to use the init function, the init GP function in the GP drive library. So PA0, and it's an output at 50. So I would like to take the faster one, and after that I will put an output as a general purpose pull down. Okay, good. And after, so I initiated the pin number 0. I'm initiating the pin number 1, and just to be sure that my circuit is working properly, I will put both pins high to confirm that there's no any issue and not having any problem with the debugging later on. Okay, so write on GP for the pin A, pin A0, and put it as a high. Okay, same, and write on GP for pin A, port A, sorry, pin number 1, and we put it set up as a high. Okay, good. So the library is ready. So let's make small everything and also add each term to see if everything is running properly and my setup and init function are working properly. So let me run, build, and then upload. Okay, great. So first we do have our LED getting high. That's great. And also we have the ASP as detected. So this is the init function, and then connecting to the access point. So, and we got to have the menu. Fantastic. So now that we do have the ASP connected, let's get the IP. Okay, this is the IP that we will need. Let me open a browser, and also let me go to manual mode to have the communication with the browser on a manual status to check which parameter will be the dynamic one. Okay, so let's go to manual mode. So the manual mode is open, and let me take the IP here, copy. And just before, for you guys, before you start, also try to put at the beginning that the size of these two strings to 2000, as we are exchanging a bit big strings, and later on we may reduce it. Okay, go. So we receive the string. Great. So we are receiving, this is the string that we need to load the page that we made in the tutorial number 1, part 1. Okay, so here, as we discussed, we do have, let me put them between in a comment. So the first is the connection, so the connection number. Okay, after that I do have, after the slash here, this is the action identifier. So if it's empty space here, it's an empty space here, means loading the page. So here we will call it action ID. Okay, so after that the feedback from the STM32F1 will be to give this command here. And as we do different feedback, we will have a different feedback. The length of the feedback will be changing. So len feedback is also another one of the parameter. For this time, I will go and upload the page we made, the HTML code we made in the part 1. So let me put, so before that I need to check how the length is for this code. Okay, we do have 1388. 1388. Okay, so and we copy paste, enter. Okay, we receive a send OK. Okay, we are receiving send OK. That's exactly what we need. So let's, so that will be, so after the len of the feedback we need to check send. So that's the message, and you can see that after I received send OK, there is another kind of a parasite message we can ignore, and I will show you how we ignore it. But we still, so we received the connection 1, but we just need the connection 0. So we received the send, so check send. So we already have the function to confirm that. And after the send OK, we just put the last instruction, last command is close. So before that, let me open here and put it. So we should receive the same thing, and we got the same page here. Perfect. So we got everything within this page, so we can now start coding and understanding. So you can see, even I close the 0, I have 0, but I have object event, and I will program my microcontroller to just close this connection, because this is not what we need. Okay, so now let's check about getting the LED. So blue LED, for example, if I put here blue LED, I'm receiving the connection number 2. So let's go to the instruction here, so connection number 2. And as we said, to change the LED status, we need only 2 digits. Okay, so let's go here and 2 digits for connection number 2. And for that connection number 2, so this is 1, so we will put 10. Let's say it's 11 because the LED is not off for the moment, but 11. And after that, we have to just close the connection number 2, and we do have it's on. Great. So if we click on the red LED, we receive which is really great. So we just repeat the same thing. So here, so connection number 2, we are sending 2 digits, and it's 2 chars actually, and we are sending, it's not, we put 2 1, and let's close 2. Perfect. So now we have all the function that we need, and we can start working on our server function to generate this happening automatically. Okay, good. So let's go here and go to the ESP function. I started here by creating the ESP server area, and let's work on it. Okay, so we can directly start making this function. So it's a void, there is no output from this one, ESP server, and as there is no input or from the user, we can directly use only the UART3. So we copy here UART3 and the UART Manager, the UART3 Manager. Okay, so that's the two necessary input to handle this activity. So okay, so let's bring also the variable we have been using that we saved during the testing to understand what we can handle on this one. Control C, and let's go here, Control V. Okay, so let's create this variable. And so for the connection number, it's obviously only one number, so we call it command. So let's have a char of let's call it ESP connection, and it will be, I'll put it as a string, as I may need to check later with the find string function. So it will have only one char, and add also the connection ID. So let's call it ESP con ID, char ESP con ID, or just ID. Let's make it short, and same, it's just one here. Okay, and after that we have to confirm also we need to have the string of the len of the feedback. So let's call it and it's a string. We'll put 6 digit maximum, but we don't need that much. So let's call feedback len, for example. It's a bit too long, but anyway, so we put 6 length digit, but I would like to put here and make it empty, just to be sure that nothing else is there is no problem, and it will put everything as 0. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, of course, as usual, I'm putting the slash in the wrong way, like this. 0 be fine. Yeah, so let's put 2 other one. So the char is now, the string is ready. And finally for the feedback, let's go and okay, let's check here. Okay, this one is wrong. So we put a feedback, just a 2 digit, because if we need to get back with the whole website, I already put it here. So I defined web client a string to load directly the website, so we don't need to put it in a string and upload it again. It would be quite very heavy for the RAM memory, so better to put it in the directly in the flash memory and use it when needed. But the small feedback that we need to control, I will create it now. So it's just 2 chars, okay, and also it will be an empty string. Wonderful. Okay, good. So what we need to do first here is we start by, we have the function, so if find str. So if we go back, let's go back here, and we need, so each time we receive a connection, we do receive this one. Okay, if we find this sentence or this string, to be more accurate, within the UART3 message. So if we receive the string within the UART3 message, then we can start operating on it. Okay, so if we receive it, then we can start getting, so we need to create a function to get the ESP connection and the ESP ID. Okay, So let's start create this function which will get us a char. Okay, so this function will be looking for the string as we see here. So for example, it will look for this string and return the char immediately after the string, and also for this one too. The function will be looking for the whole string like this one till here and return, not till this slash, and return the char after, and based on that char we can identify the what action to take. Okay, so let's start doing it. So let's call it the char. It will return a char, and we call it char tracker, for example. And if you focus a bit, you will see that this function is exactly almost similar to the help function, the one that we use to find a string. So we are going to find the string and then return the char immediately coming after that. So we just use the same one. So we will use, let's use the same naming, so to avoid any waste of time. And let's take this one, select here, and we go to here and we just put like this. Okay, great. So instead of returning match will be not the equal, so match will be equal to 1, we keep this one, but we need to return, so we are not returning match, but we need to have a char. We call it let's like last or target char, target, and it will be equal the null char for the moment. Okay, and we are going to return, so here we keep moving, and when we get the match here, so we are going to take that char. So here char and match equal to 1. So if match equal to 1, what we will take here, we will put the target will be equal, okay, to the str2 here, and so we get this one I plus g plus 1. Okay, here, perfect, and return target. Good. So let's use this function that we just created here to get to know the connection number. So let's go here and check if it's something that we can use or not. So let's put ESP con, the connection will be equal to, and that's, so let's declare this function down here. So I have to declare first the also the server function. Okay, let's take this one, the chart tracker, and I will be looking here into, so and this one will be the UART3 message. Okay, good. So let's okay, so ESP equal, of course, because I should put here that we put it as a string. Okay, ESP string equal, and we put this one like this, and the string we should look for will be this one until here. Okay, and we put here, and after that we put also the ID, the action ID. Okay, and will not be equal to that, but actually equal. So we need to get the char after this string. So let me copy this and remove that one like this, paste, and remove this one. Okay, good. So before moving further, let's have a test. So UART, let's put UART send. Okay, that will be 2, and we will be putting a small message just to confirm my connection or connection number is. So let's put like this and put here /n first and close, doing like this. Okay, connection number and action ID. And also adding here, just add a new line to see what's happening. Okay, very good. So let's save here, and let's what to do then, also put this one here, okay, and put the action, so the ESP connection. Okay, and after the ESP connection we put here the Esp Id. Okay, so each time we receive the message, I should be able to find out which connection it is. So let me save and put the message just right here. So let me put this one like this, so we don't have the manual mode. So this is just kind of a manual mode, but I'm adding the server, and it will give me kind of a feedback. Okay, so let's delete this and delete this. Okay, and see what the server will be giving us as a feedback. Okay, so let's save, let's close this one. Okay, let's run. Okay, and clear and load. Okay, ESP not connected, so now it will connect thanks to the init function that we have here. Okay, we are connected, but we cannot use this one. If I put P, nothing will happen, so I will need to make this one here and check my IP address. Okay, that's my IP address. So now if I put this IP address, I should see a message. Okay, let's check. Okay, so connection ID is 0. Okay, so connection is 0, so let's check. Connection is 0 and action ID is just space. Perfect. So we do have the space. Let's check. So what did I write here? So connection ID is, and okay, so we do have this one coming. So what do we need here to add? Connection ID is, let's check again to confirm that we are not wrong. Okay, we should have a space here. Okay, to confirm it. Okay, let's keep doing it. Let's upload, so this one. So we said, I hope I still have the code. So we said how much is it? Yeah, perfect. So we are 0 here, and so this is the code. Okay, send OK. Okay, so here it doesn't give us, unfortunately, so connection ID is still correct. That's perfect, but let me close out also the close 0 here. Okay, so okay, it's working. It's actually working. You see here when we got the object, but let's fully confirm it. If I put blue here, so I'm not getting anything from here. Even it worked. Oh, see, that's a big mistake here. It's actually correct. So the action ID is this one, which is immediately after, but here when I'm getting this one, action ID is not, we are not getting this one. Why? Am I looping to the wrong one? Yeah, of course. My error is I should put only the get. That's why it doesn't find it, because this number is changing all the time. Okay, so now let's close this one and let's change to have only the get. Okay, let's save, clear here, save, run, and upload. Okay, not connected. How this library is wonderful, so each time it's not connected, it makes the connection automatically. Okay, great. Okay, so let's get the IP address just to confirm that we do have the right IP address. Okay, copy and put and go, and fantastic. Now I'm having both the connection number and ID, and I can start working on using them to interact with the browser. So let's close this one. Okay, so we don't need it, and let's go back to the server and using some action to do it. Okay, good, great. So let's comment this part. Okay, so now that we detected, we got the information from the message we need, we can go directly and put the flag to 1 and empty the str. Okay, so now what we have to check if my action ID, my action ID here, of 0 is equal to the space char. Okay, so if that, we can start loading the code, and what we will make based on that. So the first thing to make and to build here is to get the length of the feedback we are going to send. So let's give a small message saying that loading page. Yeah, loading page. Okay, and put /n here. Okay, perfect. And what we will do, so we do the int2char function, and we get the len str of the web client. Okay, and we put it inside the feedback len. Okay, I think that's a good timing now to look back to this function. So we do have the len of my feedback, we have also the connection. Let's have a small function that we will use to create the to create this, to send this function. Okay, so let's go here, and it will be a void kind of ESP server serve send. Okay, we will need the char of the connection number, so con number, and also it's actually a string, and we will need also the char of the action ID. Okay, and also as we are sending, we are going to send the communication. We need to have some response time. As you know, this is the function we have been creating in the previous function, which was the core functions, the ESP core. We need to send the message, so I will put the int response time. Okay, and we will make also the char for the UART, as usual, the UART3, and just a moment, yeah, this UART3 and UART Manager. You don't need to. Okay, no double quotes. Let's make it bigger. Okay, there's no double quotes. Perfect. Okay, good. So the first thing to do is to create kind of the comment send string. So char comment send. Okay, so it will be around, I'll put it at 50 chars, and I will put equal to, and that will be the comment that I will need to send. So it will be equal to this. Okay, here, and all the remaining one will be some zero, so I'll be adding the null character to be sure that it's always empty here. Great. Okay, so what I will do is concatenate string, so comment send with what the connection number. Okay, after that I will concatenate, still keep concatenating the comment send, adding the comma. Okay, then concatenate again and adding the action ID. Actually, this is not, sorry, apologies, this is not the action ID, but feedback len. Feedback len, and it should be a string. Okay, feedback len will be here, and to finalize we just had to add a /r/n to have the command ready. Okay, /r/n. Okay, fantastic. So now we have the ESP core command. Okay, so we need to check what are we going to send, and we are going to send the command send. And let's check back here what kind of message we should wait for. Okay, we should receive, okay, oh, we don't have it for the moment, but if you do remember, guys, that's we got this character, so after sending we have to wait for this character, and after that we don't need to show nothing. Response time will be the response time here. Okay, and finally we are inputting the UART3 message and the UART3 manager. Okay, so this function, let me put it also server here. This function, okay, here will send the command directly to the server and start the loading. Okay, so this one should be fine, and let's use it. let's go here. We do have the feedback, we do have everything. Quite an exciting moment. So the ID, this one, the connection number here, my connection number, and after that my feedback len, which is here. Okay, good. So the response time, I put 10 for the moment, and let's see what happens. And after that, so UART3 will be UART3 like this, and the manager is the manager. Lucky him. Great, so I should have the function ready and sending the message. So should be fine for this one, but actually we need to make a bit of test. So to complete the thing, the whole thing, let's also have the send, UART send to 3, and we will send the web client, sorry, always. So let's check the web client. Is the web client, yeah, we do end up with a /r/n, perfect. Okay, save. And finally, so if we send this one, we should be fine. And what we need to end up with is to get the let's have the ESP core command also, checking in, sending the /r/n also, and checking send. Actually it should be in capital letter. Yeah, send. And the time, kind of, we don't need to see the debug, just waiting a little bit for the send, and we will be using UART3 and this one, the manager. Okay, so now okay, something is getting wrong. Expected, yeah, good. So we sent and we got the response, but the last thing we have to see to make is to close the connection. I think there's nothing easier than this one. So let's create the close connection. Okay, we go here. So for the close connection, we should just go, and quite easy, straightforward. So void, and we ESP, we call it just close connection like this, and the input, we just need a char of the connection number. Let's put this one here. Okay, same as this one, we take just the command and we are changing the command name. So let's go here and take the command name, which is close equal, like this. Okay, and what we will do, we just keep the let's use the char, not char, actually concatenate string. We just concatenate this one, the comment send, with the connection number. Okay, and after that we have another concatenation to add, is the one adding as usual the /r/n here. Okay, and we just need to make UART send 3 to the comment send string. Okay, hope this is quite clear for you guys for the moment. So what we are going to do is putting loading page, calculating the length of the string that I'm sending, and after that we will send to the server the length for the which communication and which length we are sending. We send the feedback we need to send, and after that we have to close that feedback. And last thing, we just, let me copy this one, put it here. Okay, so this is declared, and we bring it here, and we add so the connection, yeah, perfect. We remove the void. Good, very good. So let's have a test now. So we went quite far with this one, and let's see what would happen. Okay, so let's clear everything, save, build, and load. Okay, let me take the copy. Okay, connected. Let's take the server here. Okay, and let's check what would happen when we receive this one. Go. Okay, so we have loading page, and oh, it worked. Let's do it again. I can't believe it. Okay, go. Yeah, we have the page load. So it was so fast I didn't realize it. So that's wonderful. Great. So the step is made wonderfully, and we can move on with that. Perfect. Okay, so the next step will be to prepare for these two ones, this the controlling and toggling the blue and red LED. Okay, so let's start. So for this we checked if it's a space, and after checking if it's space, we need to check if it's within the how to say, the action or the action we need to have. Okay, so let's create here kind of a string. It's a string that will be kind of actions, and let's call it, so it will be maybe, let's put 10, something with string, and we will put 1 and 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now, so I cannot close this one. Okay, let me close this, and close this. Okay, so if it's equal to this one, so then we load the page, and then okay, here we put else if. Okay, and we go for the find string. Find a string. Okay, so what we are going to look for, so we need to look, okay, this is here, and put here. Okay, so find string. Okay, here I still need, so I need to find the string, the action ID or the ID here. Inside my actions. So if it's not inside my actions, I don't have to continue here. Okay. Just by the way, one of quite easy thing to do. So if it's not this one and not this one, the else will be very simple and straightforward. Okay, let's go here. It's just to close the connection, which is, we already made it here, just closing the connection. So if we don't find within the action we need, we just close the connection, and that's all, it's closed. Okay, else if, so I need to put some action here. So else if I put okay, what's the error? Okay, probably something here is missing, so let me add this one and check. So what we need to check here, so if, okay, if this command, this one, the action ID here is equal to, let's say, 1. Okay, then, oh, of course, that's my mistake. Yeah, I know. I do a lot. Let's delete this one. Now it makes sense. Okay, so if this one, okay, of 0 equal 1, okay, if it's equal 1, then we are going to manage and to toggle the LED. So we said the 1 is related. Let's go back here and see which one. So the 1 is, just a moment, this one, okay, blue LED is related to the 1. Okay, and we start, so we said the 1 is the blue, so we have to toggle, so to toggle the port A, pin 1. Okay, good. And feedback of 0 will be equal, okay, feedback to 0 will be equal to the ESP, the action ID here, and the feedback of 1 will be equal to, so the read the GP, so we are reading the status, general purpose of the port A of 1. Okay, plus, as guys, don't forget, this is, we are talking here about char, so we need to add this 30, which will make the char number 1. Okay, good. So this one, say equal, which is wrong, yeah, of course, because this one I have to put it as a 0 here. Great. So if it's equal to this one, and then, so what we can add, else if, okay, and we just copy the same code. Okay, so if it's equal to 2, then it will put here, so to 0, and this one will be of 0. Okay, so we have done the update. We updated the feedback, and then we can send the data, so same as this one, exactly the same. So we are going to send this one here, feedback. Okay, so yep, what we have to do, so we just go here and ESP server send, and so for this one the feedback length will be 2, because we know that this is the char, the length of the char is just 2, and after that, so it's okay, correct, and after that we just send the feedback, so UART, so just UART send. Okay, so will be 2, and we are sending the feedback. Okay, and we just add the same thing here, so send, and we don't even need to wait for any response. Okay, it looks quite good. And last step, just closing the connection. Okay, so I hope this is not too much overwhelming, but so what we are going to do is, if it's within the action panel that we have, we check if it's 1 or 2, because 1 is toggling the blue LED and 2 is toggling the red one. So if the LED is 1, we just toggle the LED with the function we created with the GP drive library, and after that we create the feedback, so we just put 1 for the LED 1, and after that we add the status of the LED. If it's 0 or 1, that will toggle the also the description in the HTML. So let's save. upload, build, sorry. Okay, go here, clear everything, save, clear, and upload. Okay, so ESP detected. Let me go here, close this one. Okay, let's connect and check get the IP. Okay, this is my IP address. Let's go here, send it. Okay, the page is loaded. Great. So let's try. So let's see what's happening within the LEDs. You see both are shining. And you see now the LED is toggling. That's great. So we are receiving, but something is not working properly, as they are not receiving the right one. So you see we are toggling, but the message is not working. Okay, let's go to the inspect to see what's happening, what I'm receiving. Go to network, send here, and see. So what I'm receiving here in my response, I'm receiving, just a moment, okay, and I'm getting, seems that I'm getting, so actually the message is correct, I'm toggling, but the response I'm sending is not correct. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? So in our response, not here, actually it's the main program, and take a look. So I'm giving this feedback. So let me add, let's close the connection. Let's close this connection and this connection too. And let me also print the feedback just to see what is my feedback. Okay, so UART send to and feedback. Okay, sending the feedback and see what kind of response we are sending to the, so we send this one, so we send, oh sorry, we send here the feedback. So we have the connection, we put 2, and after that we have the feedback and we send it. So let's check, clear, run. Okay, not connected. Okay, let's get the IP. The IP didn't change. Great. Okay. Okay, page loaded. Fantastic. So if I click here, let's see what was my feedback. Let's check. It's 1 0 1 0. I think I'm sending twice the feedback. Yeah, the feedback is sent twice. That's what make things strange here. So let's check. Okay, why it's sending twice? Oh, of course, I should put UART3 send. So we have to send to the ESP01, not to the okay, I need holidays. Good. Let's save, build, and upload. Okay, wait a little bit. Good. Check if my, I should not have changed IP. Yeah, as expected. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so we do have both LEDs here shining. Okay, and it's on. Fantastic. Okay, you can see here we have the first step completed successfully. So we are controlling the LEDs using the Wi-Fi module ESP01. That's fantastic. So now let's go and add a small step which is about getting the data on streaming. Great. So let's work on it. So it will be, so from HTML perspective. Let's start the HTML perspective and go for it. So first of all, here we are adding here the status. Okay, so we just add a P here, and that will be the switch is, oh sorry, the switch is, and we will add some space here, and we will change that space, and we close the P. Okay. Okay, so now we do like this. Now we slash here. Okay. Okay, so that's what we need to do. But however, as we would like to control this small one, we are creating a span here. So a small span, and we will give it an ID. We call it SW. So like this, and after that SW, and like this. So this is to not disturb the connection, the string. And here I will add also another one and close the span. Okay, the span is closed. Okay, so we added the span here. So let's check if things are going well. I'll copy this one because I think it will not change anyway. Let's save, build, clear here, upload. Okay, it says connected. Let's go and check. Okay, and the switch is great. So we added the switch successfully. Now we have to add the this JavaScript. Yeah, I'm coming to it. Good. So we have to go to the JavaScript part. It's not that difficult, but we have to add something after this one. So let's start. So what we need to do is to have a new function actually. So, and we call it function. You know what? Let's write it here, and we can. It's much faster. So let's create function, and we call it data streaming. Okay, data stream, and let's start building this function. Okay, so I'm gonna do like this, and let's start. Okay, so the first thing in this function that we have to do is, as usual, create the var, same as the previous one. I put it here. Create the vars like this. Okay, and we don't need the ID here. I will call it 0. Okay, the URL will be 0 for each time we receive the 0 in the response, then it will be working. So okay, that will be equal to 0, and on change, so we have to put same logic here. It's exactly the same logic. Okay, and let's put on function change, this one end up here. So let's start doing this. Okay, go here. Okay, on function change here, so if ready state, if we receive so we don't need all the remaining one, so only 2 ifs are enough, if and else if, so these ones are not needed anymore. Okay, so if it's okay 0 0, we will change the element by ID, and we are going to change the one we called here SW. Okay, and SW here. Okay, so we will say if it's 0 0, it will be low, and this one will be high. Okay, if it's actually 0 1. Okay, so if response is equal 0 0, okay, and after that we just open and send it. Okay, so you see it's almost the same logic as here, and we need to create also the same thing for this one, the document listener for the function we just created. Okay, we put the function name, data stream. Good. And the last point that we need to add, so just before this function, the last point we need to add is the to make this function running again and again, and we call the var, we call it myInterval. Okay, this function will make this line will make this function running set interval. Okay, no, I don't want to write it like this. Set interval here. Oh, come on, interval. Okay, so we set the interval and we call data stream here, and we will run it every, let's say, every second. Good. So where we been here, so we will put it here. Okay, so this is the new part that we are adding. It will be quite taking a bit of time to upload everything, so, and we are done. Good. We are done. Ah, yeah, not done. So I will use here this one and this one. I think that will correct. Okay, let's save and check if everything is going well. Good, really good. So, and let's go back now, and so add, so we do have if for 1 and if for 2, so let's add the make this one as else if. Okay, and add the further if here. However, for this one we are not going to toggle. Yeah, so it's connected actually. Let me confirm. So when we connect this one, I connected it to the PA4. So let me go back. So here, and so let's go here and add PA4. But the PA4 will be in input, so I'll add it here. This one PA4 will be in input, and it will be pull up, pull down input. I and here PP. Okay, so this one in, sorry, not an input, not I. Okay, good. So, but what I'm doing to do, just as a testing perspective, I'm adding also the PC13, which is the LED that we do have inside the within the board, just to be an indicator. Each time I push the button, the LED will be high, just for to understand if things are working properly or not. So I put here the PC13, the port C pin 13. Okay, and within the loop, after doing all these things, I will have the right general purpose, so the status of PC pin 13, and the status will be read and JP. Okay, so will be PA, the port A4 status. Okay, so here I will be not toggling anything. Okay, and the feedback 0 will be, so for this one we have to put 0 because we are sending 0, and the communication will be reading the JP4. Good, quite a complicated thing. Okay, so there's no error, no problem. So let's check now. clear everything. I will copy again this one, close it, and paste and go. Okay, so we do have this one running. So let's try to run this. Okay, working, perfect. So let's check if first when I click on this one, so let's show also. Okay, I'm not seeing actually the green LED working, so something is not set up correctly. Let me check. So let's check again. So this is working properly, but okay, maybe I didn't save. Let's confirm again. So clear. So how to make it, just a moment. So I'm not reading. Let's go make this one bigger and check here. So I put PA4 as an input and PP, so that's what I needed here, and reading should be fine actually. Okay, so let's click. Okay, saved and build again just to confirm. Push here. Okay, I do have. Okay, now that is good, because low means high here, but what I don't understand, yeah, it's working. We see now, so each time we click it's working. So let me close this one and try again. Okay, good. So we know that the program has been running now, and the previous version was not the right build. So if I check here, okay, so I do have a problem within my connection. Back to ID, console, checking. Okay, this is not defined. Okay, var is not defined. Okay, and toggle ID is not defined. Let's take a look to the code we wrote. It's quite more complicated here. Like var, my internal. Of course, I forgot to add this one. Let's check further. Let's close this one. Close here. Clear. Not connected, so we wait a bit to have the connection. Okay, good. Let's go to okay. Okay, something looks working. Okay, so my connection is working actually, but there is some delay, something messed up. Let's check in the console. Okay, this is the error that I should be having, but something in the sending data is not working. Okay, I'm sending the data but not getting any feedback. Perfect. So that's what I needed to know. So let's close this one and rerun again. Okay, so let's check what's happening. So you see here it's keep closing and closing and closing. So if I go and inspect, go to the network, so we are sending the data, we are sending some information, but it keeps closing them. Okay, so we see, I'm seeing that the program is sending the right one. Okay, let me check where the error. So actually, if we go back here and we take a look to the action that we do the find for the action here, else if and find string. So we need to add the 0 here. Yeah, that's quite yeah, was a mess from my side. So let's clear here and save again, build and upload. Okay, as soon as we get the connection, let's bust. Okay, good. So we should start having a feedback on this one. Okay, we are streaming now, and we do have a low because we are not. That's perfect. So if I push this one now, and let's see, it's high, so we are streaming the data. Fantastic. If I remove, and you can track my finger with this LED, which is a low high. So if it's set to high, it will be low, and if the opposite, then if I click here, you see it's now high, and if I remove, okay, it gets low. Sometimes there's a bit of lag, but we do have the streaming activity. Fantastic. So if let's close the LEDs. Yeah, fantastic. So I have a control on the LEDs, and also I do have also a bit of lag here, but we do have the streaming activity. Fantastic. So that's good. That's really good. So we have a working program. So let's clean everything. Okay, so this is my server here. So let's, beside putting, so let's include these two ones. We don't need any more to get this message here. And also let's put these two functions inside the server itself. Here at the end of the server, which will be here. So at the end, okay, each time I receive, I go and do that. Okay, so now I can remove this one, reopen my server, remove this function because we don't need them anymore, and here we are. We do have our server ready, so we can even go a little bit further and in a simple one. So let's close everything, and we create the ESP Manager, the void ESP Manager. Okay, we call it ESP Manager, and as an input it will have all this one. Okay, like this, and we copy paste this one, Control X, and we add them here. Okay, so we declare this one in the here, so the manager function. Okay, we save it, and we add to the main program. So we remove all the char, like same as this one, but we have to get worried not to make the mistake, as they are not in the same order. Okay, good. We are finishing this tutorial soon. Was quite heavy one, but I hope guys you enjoyed and you had a chance to get a bit more knowledge on how to build a library like this one, quite a heavy one. Okay, so now we do have this one, and let's make more things by putting this one in the init library. So as soon as we start making the init, we do this one, and we do have a whole just simplified library here to manage everything. Okay guys, I really thank you a lot. It was quite a strong tutorial. I wish you enjoyed making this program, and see you for the next one. Thank you a lot. WeeW!